Hey everyone, welcome back to the series. This is by far the most, I don't know, this is the most special interview ever I have done because this is my interview with my best friend from IIM Sirmaur, Deep Satra. So before we move on, I would like to give you a brief introduction about Deep. So Deep is like the PowerPoint god. Okay, there's no one at IIM Sirmaur who makes better PowerPoint presentations than Deep, and he's also the trading god. So he's one of those people who invested 1 lakh, and in just 1 month he's lost 40,000 rupees. So he's the trading god, he's the PowerPoint god, and today we have Deep Satra on our show. So Deep, welcome to the series, welcome to the show.
Thank you for such a warm welcome, and I don't think so that anything could top this introduction. That me losing 40,000 in a month, but okay.
So,
just for the clarification, I have earned 40,000 also, so it's back to zero. But the knowledge that I gained was far more, than the 40,000 worth.
yeah, of course. This interview is not about you losing or gaining 40,000. This interview is all about inspiring cat aspirants. So please, let's focus on that. So,
Sure.
Of course, you are at IIM Sirmaur, right? So please give us a brief profile background before you entered IIM Sirmaur.
So, as you all know, my name is Deep Satra. I am from Mumbai. I have completed my graduation in 2019. So, I am a BMS graduate, which is Business and Management Studies. I have specialized in marketing. After my graduation, I was looking for a job, and then I landed this job where I am a PowerPoint specialist. So I worked there for 17 months, and I decided that I want to do CAT and be an MBA. So here I am right now.
Yeah. So Deep, so you appeared in the CAT 2021, right? So what was the CAT percentile?
Yes. So my CAT percentile was 92.31.
92.31, right? So you graduated in 2019, right? So was it your first attempt or was it like second or third attempt?
So I attempted CAT first time in 2018. I
Right.
prepared for like 6 to 7 months and got a 55 percentile, which I don't think so
Sorry.
gets me any good in school.
Right.
So I was really focused on doing my MBA. So I was like, if I'm not getting a good percentile, I'll get some work experience and then reapply and try again. So yeah.
So basically you wanted like अगर percentile अच्छी नहीं आ रही तो let's gain some work experience, let's improve our profile and then re-attempt the CAT exam, right?
So that would help me get into a good B school. So since CAP cutoff was just 92 percentile when I gave my CAT, and without the work experience, I don't think so that I would have cleared cutoff for IIM Sirmaur.
Perfect.
So that helped me.
Right, so you played it smart, right? So to all of viewers, see, this is how you play it smart because it's ultimately it's you who have to make your future, right? So you have to play it smart and you have to make right decisions and logical decisions at a certain point in a career. But Deep, of course, 55 percentile to 92.31 percentile, right? So when I also attempted my CAT exam twice, so I moved from 85 to 96, but 55 to 92 is a huge jump. So how did you do that? So what extra did you prepare and what was it?
So I believe that CAT was a 3-hour exam, right? In 2018 when I attempted, it was a 3-hour exam, and when I attempted in 2021, it was 2 hours exam.
Right.
So I believe that my focus span is not that big that I can stay focused for 3 hours and give the CAT paper and select the best questions that are in that particular time frame. So the CAT coming down to 2 hours I think helped me.
Right.
Plus I was since 2021 January 2021 I left my job. I was like, I want to do MBA, so let's enroll yourself into a class. So I joined a class and then prepared for CAT. I gave a lot of mocks. I never missed a mock. I always used to analyze my mocks because I believe that in 2018 the thing that got me 55 percentile and the difference why I didn't get 90 or 95 percentile was that I was not able to analyze my mocks. I was skipping mocks, which was the problem.
Right, perfect. So, Deep, of course, 92.31, I know it's a great percentile, right? Even jumping and scoring above 90 percentile is a huge deal. But see, 92 point, let's be very real. 92.31 percentile, if I was a CAT aspirant, right? So scoring 92.31, I will be like कि इस पे IIM तो नहीं मिलेगा, ठीक है? So right, but even in that percentile you still can get to very good colleges like GIM, Goa Institute of Management, like there are multiple colleges, right? So what were your backup colleges with that percentile?
So I would want to give you a backstory of why I am here right now. So in September there was CET happening. So I was like, why not attempt CET and see how much knowledge I have and how prepared I am for the CAT exam. So I gave my CET. I got 95 point something percentile. And then I was in a dilemma that would I be able to score 90 plus percentile coming from 55 percentile? So I was not, I was not having a lot of confidence. So I consulted my friends because I was getting a college called NL Dalmia, which is in Mumbai. So that would have been a better choice for me back then if there was nothing at my hand, right? The CAT is, I have not even given CAT. My mock score was, topping, let's say 60-65 marks, which is roughly around 90 to 95 percentile. But I was not sure. So I was like, what should I do? So I consulted my friends, I talked to my parents, and they were like that you have been preparing for CAT since January. And we believe in you, we trust in you. And that is the reason I, left that opportunity and went for CAT. Even if the stakes were that high. And I took that leap of faith in me after, people also trusting me with my, so I was like, let's do it. And then I got 92.31 percentile. I was not sure कि IIM मिलेगा. IIM तो दूर की बात है because last year I guess in 2020 the cutoff was 93 percentile for cap calls.
Right.
So I was like, I'm not clearing that cutoff, and luckily the cap, the cutoff came down to 92.
Right.
And I got the cap calls. So apart from cap calls, I would say I had GIM, I had IMT Ghaziabad, I had IMT Nagpur and IMT Hyderabad. I also had KJ Somaya.
Right. I
had IMI Delhi. I had TAPMI. So these were some of the calls that I had. I also converted IIM Bodh Gaya and IIM Jammu later after joining IIM Sirmaur. So yeah.
Right. So Deep, you started preparing in January, right? And I think to all our viewers, during and for your CAT exam, the first thing that you should have is self-belief, and it is extremely crucial for that, right? So of course, like Deep took a risk, but it was a calculated risk because he has been preparing very diligently and with huge discipline towards for his CAT exam, right? So you have to take risk, but it should be calculated risk, not like Deep who invested 1 lakh and lost 40,000. Not those risks, but 92.31 percentile risk. Okay, so Deep, I would like to know that you said you shortlisted TAPMI, you shortlisted GIM for yourself, right? IMT Ghaziabad. So I would like to know that what was the criteria that you followed to target these colleges? Was it placements? Was it ROI? Was it name? So what were you targeting? What were your priorities?
So since after giving the MHCET, I was giving mocks for CAT even, right? So just after CET, I gave one of the mocks and I am getting like 1-digit score. Okay, overall 1-digit score. Right. And that shattered my confidence like a lot. So since I was headstrong about, I want to give CAT, and since I've prepared for this long period and this is my second attempt, I've invested so much of my time, I've left my job to pursue CAT. So I don't want to settle for less.
Right.
but still some way or the other, you have some deep down that feeling that you might not be able to convert. What if you might not be able? The overthinking happens.
Right.
So I consulted my teachers at that time, and they suggested me that you should have at least 2 colleges, at least 2 B schools in each of the categories.
Right.
So I chose 2 B schools from 90 to 95 percentile category,
Right.
2 from 80 to 80, 85 to 90, 80 to 85. Like that, I went and selected 2 colleges from each category, which I thought were best, and I would want to go there and study.
Right.
So this is the initial, shortlisting of B schools that I did. And after my, results, I decided, let's focus on the interview. I cracked all the interviews, and then I decided IIM Delhi would be the better option because I focused on ROI and the placements, basically. You always look for placements. That's the reason most of the students do their MBA for, like the real reason why they do the MBA.
Right.
So I was going for IIM Delhi, and I had paid the fees also there. But then IIM Sirmaur happened. I calculated my ROI again. So here I'm paying 15 lakhs fees and getting 15 lakhs as in not just the fees, but the mess fees, the stay, the extra cost that you bear.
Right.
So everything comes out to 15, and you're getting a placement of, let's say, around 13, 14. So I calculated that way. And in IIM Delhi, it was like 15 lakhs you'll get as a package, and you have to pay at least 20 to 25 lakhs.
Right.
Which is more than double, more than one, I would say.
Right.
So I chose IIM Sirmaur over IIM Delhi.
Right. So ROI was the biggest factor in your priorities, right? And the
IIM tag as well. I'm sorry to cut you.
Right.
So the IIM tag also matters, right? You get into an IIM, it's like everyone around you knows an IIM.
Right.
No one knows IIM Delhi that much than an IIM.
Right.
So that was a deciding factor for me. And in Himachal, why would you not want to come to Himachal?
Perfect. So Deep, you said that you jotted down 2 colleges from each percentile range, right? But I want to know that how sure you were and how did you make that decision? Like, for example, how sure you were that, okay, IMT Ghaziabad ki to 90 to 95 hi jayegi, right? So how did you conducted that research work for yourself, and what were your sources to do so? Because you cannot be sure always. Like you only said that last year 93 gaya tha and this baar 92 gaya tha, right? Cap round ka call. But still, what were your sources? I want to know.
So I selected on a range, right? 90 to 95. You are never sure on what cutoff you might convert or you might get an interview call.
Right.
So I Googled, I checked their websites. I saw a lot of YouTube videos of various people, various channels. So, and then I came to the fact, and I also contacted my professors at that time and asked them which colleges would come under which category and which would be the best college out of those in that particular category. So that is how I shortlisted. And also there were some location factors that I considered.
Okay.
That I preferred. So I did that.
Right. So Deep, I think this will be the most haunting question, and that would be why MBA? And I want you to justify that question in the similar fashion that you would do in an actual placement interview or in an actual admission interview.
So for me, why MBA was always about communication. Wherever you go, you are supposed to communicate what you have on your mind.
Right.
And without proper communication, you are not going to get what you want. So communication was the key for me to improve. So, but a lot of people, ask me that you can improve your communication doing a communication class. Why you want to spend so much and go to a B school? So communication was the factor. And in a B school, you understand how people communicate to a, let's say a problem. So communication also comes with problem solving. So let's say I have a problem in front of me and I have the solution. but I am able to jot down, like, let's say 3-4 solutions, but I'm not able to communicate that. And also, it's not necessary that the solutions that I come up with, are the right one.
Right.
Problem solving and communication goes hand in hand. So that is why I selected, or I chose B school over a communication class.
Right.
So that is why I really wanted to do an MBA apart from the placements.
Right. Decision making or problem solving. Decision making and problem solving. So basically you are saying all those keywords that we were taught today. So let's go to the next question. Okay, Deep. So of course, see, again, 55 to 92 percentile is a huge jump, right? So what is that one most important thing that Deep Satra did that helped him crack the CAT exam with that percentile, right? Because of course I know that mocks were one of those factors, but apart from mocks, or you can say, what is that one thing that you did not do last time but you did this time, and 92 was the brownie.
So Deep Satra did deep analysis of his mocks.
Right.
Okay. So I never missed a mock. I gave mocks when the time was given, or it was scheduled at. I never postponed my mocks.
Right.
I always went for the questions which I knew that I was sure of. So I don't want your viewers to take this as an advice, but what I followed was, in quants, I could never understand geometry questions or let's say algebra questions or modern maths. I only focused on arithmetic.
Right.
And I have I solved a lot of past CAT papers. So in all those CAT papers, most of the percentage given, the weightage that was given was to arithmetic. Right. So I did arithmetic so thoroughly that I could solve at least, let's say, 80 to 90% of the questions correctly. And in the mocks, you will not believe me, but in the mocks, I used to get single digit of scores.
Right.
In quant, the quants. Quant section was like the worst of all.
Right.
I could never score 2 digits, or even if I scored 2 digits, it was an easy proctored, easy mock that happened. And the irony is that I scored the highest percentile in
quant. Right.
Whereas DI was my strongest point. I used to always score like 90-95 percentile in all the mocks, and I believed that would be the one that would push the score. But if you analyze the past CAT papers, DI is always difficult.
Right.
Even if you think that you will be able to score a lot in DI, that is not really true for a lot of cases. Right. Because DI is difficult. You can score a lot of you can score a high percentile by scoring very less. You have to just solve 1.5 set.
Right.
That is 6 questions to get 85 plus percentile.
Right.
So DI was also average for me. So I got 86 percentile, let's say, in DI, and 95 percentile in quants, which was exactly opposite what I had thought of.
Right.
That I would score a little less in quants and more in DI. But CAT papers are just surprise.
Right. So Deep, it is very good. Even see, of course you played on your strengths and weaknesses, right? You knew that you were not good in geometry, algebra, and modern maths, right? So, but what you did was you improved yourself in arithmetic so much that you gained all that percentile in arithmetic only, right? Because see, arithmetic in CAT has the highest weightage, right? There, if the CAT exam is of 2 hours, right, there would be around 7 to 8 questions of arithmetic, and if you score, if you attempted all those arithmetic questions with 100% accuracy, you are bound to score around 24 marks, which is exactly 90 to 93 percentile. And that's how you strategize. That's how you attempt the CAT exam. And Deep, I think this was one of the perfect answers I've heard. So let's jump to the group discussions and PAs, right? So Deep, did you appear for any group discussion? I think TAPMI conducts a group discussion, if I'm not wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I had a group discussion in TAPMI, I guess in Great Lakes also.
Right.
There was a group discussion, if I am not wrong, because it's been a year, so I might be wrong somewhere. So you can correct me wherever
Right.
you think that I'm making a mistake. So yeah, group discussions were there. So in group discussion, it's not about how much you speak.
Right.
It's about the quality that you speak of.
Right.
So mostly group discussions are, taken on the basis of, let's say, current affairs. There's a topic that is given that is, buzzing around. So you should know about the current affairs, thoroughly.
Right.
So that you are able to speak at least 1 or 2 points that creates an impact on the the supervisor or the GD coordinator.
Right.
So you make that point and you are in. It's matter of just 1 point. I think that makes the difference of you getting selected or you not getting selected.
Right.
Most of the students are not able to speak during a GD because there are always some dominating students that they are always speaking there. So you have to, there is just a millisecond of chance that you have to grab, that one takes a pause, and that's when you have to pitch in your point and get that brownie point.
Right. So right, 1 millisecond you have to grab that chance, right? But before you grab that chance, at least you should be able to speak for at least 1 to 2 minutes and at least have some logical points to speak, because 1 millisecond का तुम grab करोगे and कुछ भी बोल दोगे, that's how you're not gonna enter the B school, right? But Deep, right. So could you remember any one of the topics that you encountered in a group discussion?
So I don't really remember, but so I gave one extempore topic, right?
Right.
I was given one extempore topic on in KJ Somaya on how the COVID has shaped the business world.
Right.
So that was one of the extempore topic, and I believe that extempore and GDs are somewhat similar because you have to know about the current affairs and the topics that are buzzing around. So I had some points. So.
Right. So Deep, how do you approach an extempore?
So for an extempore, if you don't know about a topic, you can ask them to change the topic. They would be very open to do that, because I was asked if I know about that topic and would I be able to speak, and so I said, definitely, who does not know about COVID, right?
Right.
So then after getting the topic, you are given let's say 2 minutes to jot down your points. I jot down the most important points, and numbers. Numbers play a very key role, and creates an impact much more than just the words.
Right.
Because you are giving them facts. And facts show that you have read about that topic, about that topic. So it makes your extempore much more confident. It shows that you are confident. So
and numbers,
I believe that the numbers.
Right. So even one of my extempores included a topic infinity, and I had like 30 seconds of what you say thinking and 2 minutes of speaking. So I think you can even approach an extempore in a way that you approach a VAT. Like you speak 30 seconds for introduction, you speak 1 minute for your points that you have jotted down, and you speak 30 seconds for conclusion. That's how you can also approach an extempore, right? So Deep, let's now finally talk about the cap round interview experience. So how was it? How many panelists were there? What questions were asked? Tell us everything.
So there were 2 panelists, and I believe only one panelist was asking me questions, and the other one was just observing me.
Right.
That how am I reacting to the questions and what my body language is. I'm sorry. Yeah. So basically, first general question that tell me about yourself, and a lot of people make mistakes about telling about yourself. You have to say things that are not mentioned in your CV. That is something new. so that it grabs the attention of the interviewer, so that the interview goes in that direction. So if I want to control my interview and I want the interviewer to ask the questions based on what I know and what I am prepared for, so that would help me the most.
Right.
So that is what, how I started. I spoke a lot about my work ex, because I know I had just completed my work ex, and I was there for 1.5 years.
Right.
So I was pretty confident about any of the questions that could come up for that.
Right.
So I was asked some questions about my work ex, that what was my role, how much impact did I create in that business, and what all things that I learned. And they gave me a situation, as in if I faced a situation in my work office that was a dilemma situation, like what am I supposed to do in that particular situation. Let's say, for example, there is a project that I have been given, and I don't know something about the project, and my supervisors or my superiors are not available that time. So what would I do? Because every project has a deadline,
Right.
and where I used to work, the deadline was pretty tight.
Right.
So after getting a project, you have to submit that project in 1 or 2 hours. So I cannot wait for my supervisors to give me a decision on what I should do.
Right.
So I took my decision, and that is what an interviewer is looking for. That are you able to make decision on yourself? Are you confident enough that you can take or because after being a manager, I should be able to take a decision on my own.
Right.
So that is what they look for when asking about my work ex. So after my work ex, they asked me what was my favorite subject in my graduation. So I said that I like digital marketing a lot, because I have also done a course on digital marketing. But what happened was, they didn't ask me about digital marketing. They asked me about quants.
Right.
And I was like, I don't know anything about quants, because that was not my area of expertise. I, just barely crossed the passing marks.
Right.
And as you all know that I left geometry, algebra, and modern maths. So I was not able to answer. And I straightly said them that, I don't know, because it had been a long time that I had revised my quants, and I didn't believe that, I thought that they would not ask me on what I don't know and not about my graduation, because after work ex, mostly the interview is focused on your work ex.
Right.
But that was not the case. So I think I missed out on a lot of colleges because of that I didn't know about. And especially when I cleared CAT and got highest percentile in quants,
Right.
they expect me to know something about that.
Right.
So
Right.
that was the case. Yeah.
Perfect.
So
yeah.
And then they asked me something about some questions on general knowledge. So there was I think Bipin Rawat was who died in a helicopter crash.
Okay, right.
They asked me who died and who was he, what position was he holding. So I was not able to remember the name. So I said that I took like 15-20 seconds and was trying to remember the name. It was like on the tip of my tongue, but not out yet. So I was not able to answer that. So after a few more questions on general knowledge, I recollected that name and said them that it was Bipin Rawat. So that is how and that was the end of my interview.
Right. So perfect, Deep. I think we should end our interview with that only. But before we finally wind up our interview, do you have any final words for all the CAT aspirants who are preparing for the CAT exam, as well as the group discussions and PIs?
So for CAT, I would say that solving mocks and focusing on your strengths, especially at the end of the stage,
right,
like 1 or 2 months prior the CAT, I should not be learning any new concepts. I should be focusing more on my strengths and capitalizing on them.
Right.
And last 1.5 months, I believe that I only gave mocks. There was no learning that was happening. Only mocks, just analyze them, give them, and that's how I improved my score. And you build confidence after giving a lot of mocks,
Right.
and especially the past CAT papers.
Right.
So that would be about the CAT preparation. And for GDPI, I would say read a lot. Reading always helps because that gives you content on speaking.
Right.
So if given any topic, let's say you were given a topic on infinity, right? Then I should be able to talk about different dimensions of infinity, not just what usually people would think of. Something different, something extraordinary, because that leaves a remark on or a mark on their mind that this candidate was some who came up with good points or came up with different point of view.
Right.
That is what they are looking for. Something different.
Sorry. Perfect, Deep. I think we should wind up our interview here only. So to all our viewers, read a lot, think different, play on your strength, and do take calculated risks. Not the risk that Deep took and lost 40,000, but the risk that Deep took and scored 92.31 percentile. And to all our viewers, we hope we were able to add some value to your CAT preparation as well as your GDPI. And to Deep, thank you, Deep, so much. I know you are my best friend. I know I forced you in doing this, but I think the information we shared, I think it was extremely helpful. And Deep, thank you for doing this, and I love you. And so we wind up interviews. So cheers.
You're welcome. And I'm waiting for that Kit Kat now.
Right. Okay. Bye.
Yeah. Bye-bye.